Poppy is on the verge of becoming a phenomenon. Now with a heavier direction and identifying her music as post-genre, Poppy has her third album, I Disagree, which is branching out past anything she has done years ago with pop-themed YouTube music. Through this, she is combining several styles of metal and fusing them with pop beats to bring something truly unique to the music scene. That is probably the most high-level and basic description of who Poppy is and what she's creating, because once you see and hear her work, you realize that Poppy is Poppy. She is an example of an artist fully embracing change and experimentation in the best ways possible while living a gimmick to the letter. Watching her evolution from YouTube videos in the pop realm to screaming her head off and singing about death is a wild ride for anyone, and watching her do it while keeping in character through interviews has been amazing. I Disagree is Poppy's attempt at defiance toward the music industry as a whole. In an interview with Alternative Press, she explained, "The album as a whole is just about not stepping to anyone and disagreeing with people in positions of power and not accepting no for an answer, or you can't. It's all about burning down the music industry in a way and stepping out of any box that anyone might have tried to lock me up inside." Describing Poppy's interactions with media and her ongoing YouTube shenanigans would take a long time to break down, and this video is about her third album, I Disagree. With that said, I Disagree is the combination of several styles of music and an attempt to branch out new territory while still holding similarities to past music. Did any of what I just said make sense? Well, I assure you it's accurate. And after you hear I Disagree, you'll realize Poppy is an enigma, and this album confirms that. The album opens up with one of my favorite songs from Poppy and favorite songs overall from 2019, Concrete. On first listen, it sounds like you are changing the radio dial into different song styles and rhythms, but this is an example of that working in the track's favor. Lyrically, it's dark to a satirical point, and the guitar hooks are memorable. Concrete is a great example of a song catching your attention while giving a perfect one-song glimpse of who an artist is. The title track, another single from the album, follows and definitely shows off a little more of that fighting the industry and oppression description that Poppy gave. The smooth chorus that really has a good ring to it in the delivery feels separated from the almost forced delivery of the verse. The music itself is much more subdued than Concrete, but it still works and the song still relies on the threading of different speeds. Those different speeds in the songs on this album are obvious and come in clear, but in turn the tracks do rely on some repetition. Blood Money, another single, uses repetition to add emphasis on lyric lines, and it does get very predictable after a while. Poppy and predictable should not belong in the same sentence, but there it is. That's where I get to one of my biggest issues with the album. Each song definitely does work, and you get the point, but you do feel like you're hearing a broken record within each song after a while, and in turn, that kills a bit of the replay value. Anything Like Me goes into electronic territory, and some of the guitar static and riffs work, but this illustrates the issue of a broken record with occasional volume changes and a short bridge. This is the idea of several music styles crammed together, but not as seamless as the song Concrete. Fill the Crown further dives into electronic beats and shades of industrial. There is a strong structure here, and the song has creativity for days. It's a lot to take in, but it proves Poppy can make wild ideas work. Admittedly, it's not seamless. The lyric hooks are strong though, and the writing gets stuck in your head from all parts of this album, even from the weaker tracks, and that's a testament to Poppy's ability to get a point across. And if you thought Poppy was abandoning her previous styles of past albums, she's not. Nothing I Need is a sweet, soothing pop song with cynical lyrics, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. It's peaceful and her soft voice works with the rhythm. Sit Stay also has a great mix and beat, albeit a rough intro, but some of the lines are great, including Godspeed to the radio star. It's just difficult to get into the flow of any one song at points because the auditory whiplash can really knock you around. Auditory transition whiplash might be the more appropriate term. Some songs here were great, but it's others that really take you out of the experience. Bite Your Teeth is another heavy song with deep low riffs, and while being the shortest track, I have to say that it packs a punch and still feels like it belongs here, as do all the songs on I Disagree. Everything is soaked in Poppy's identity. The final two tracks, Sick of the Sun and Don't Go Outside, are the pop side of the album, and honestly, they work, especially the 6-minute Don't Go Outside. These two tracks are the songs that will upset the metal fans who thought they were getting a full album of anger. While Sick of the Sun is a simple tune, Don't Go Outside has elements of grunge, and it's a fantastic closer. The fading of Burn It to the Ground is a great throwback to earlier in the album as well. I was hoping for something unique with Poppy, and I got it. Even if there were parts I was disappointed with, I was simultaneously impressed with others. The cynicism in the writing while fighting the music industry is present, and there are fun tracks on both the heavy and soft side to balance everything out. I may not have loved this as much as I had hoped, but I still like it. After several listens all the way through, I have to say my head was spinning. It's not something you can really take in all at once, and admittedly the writing layout in some of the tracks is ruined by harsh transitions. But I still can't deny the talent and creativity here. This album is worth hearing. Overall, I Disagree is a strong attempt at changing the status quo and serves as an example of not having to be bridled by commercial formats. The high points stand out well, and several tracks on the album will get stuck in your head for days. Poppy might be an enigma, but she's also worth giving your attention as a new force in music, regardless of any genre you think she belongs in. Big thanks to my patrons and a special thanks to Brandon Barrettfeld. You can help support Rot and keep this channel going through Patreon. As little as $2 a month goes a long way to the channel, and you can get perks like voting on upcoming videos and seeing long videos early. More info in the YouTube card and video description. Please subscribe, you can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook and Twitter.